'cause it's clear. You know it's clear. We're in for some adventures and at least a few good beers. So come get lost in a story with us on a plane or train or in a bus. Bring your curiosity and never topography.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Tapography. I am here joined by my two best friends, as always, Dave and Aaron. What's going on, guys?
You're playing it fast and loose with the term best friend.
Oh, man, just right off the bat, throwing me under the bus in front of everybody. Great. This is going to be a good show.
Yeah.
That's great.
Get
Yeah.
ready.
I think David wouldn't feel so bad if a limb fell down from a tree and hit you. That's what I heard.
Ouch.
Like all those widowmakers.
We're going to learn. You know what? We're not even going there yet. Yeah. There's a lot of ways. The book today could have been called 1,000 Ways to Die in the West.
In a forest in the West.
Unfortunately, that was already taken.
But, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Welcome, anybody who, for, first-time listeners, long-time callers, we so glad you found us again. If you're new to the show, typically what we do is, we dive into adventure books or just really good stories altogether, and we drinking beers along the way, kind of thing. So it's usually a good time. Kind of gives you a reason to either find a book that you like or follow along with us as you read the same books that we're going to as well. So we'll always let you know at the end of the episode what the next book will be for next week. And we got a couple special things coming up for you pretty soon. So, before we get into kind of deep dive into everything here, what have you guys been going on? What's going on in y'all's life?
Well, I was just in Phoenix, Arizona recently, which honestly, it's a little, even for February, it was warm for my taste. Like it gets so hot there.
It does.
Kind of ridiculous. And I know I grew up in Texas, but after living in Colorado for a few years and going to a place that hot, it's not for me. It's not for me. But I will say, I got to go to an NBA game. That was cool. I hadn't been to one of those in a while, and I didn't get to do any hiking or exploring because it was business trip or whatever. But I did get to have some good food. Phoenix has some really good food, man.
Yeah, you were in Scottsdale area, right?
Yeah, Scottsdale area.
Nice.
I
That's
just
cool.
call it Phoenix. I'm sure the Scottsdale people are offended by that. But
I think they're the only ones that are offended. by
Our
that.
listener in Scottsdale is real pissed.
Is real pissed. He's like, fuck that.
You know what? He's going to call in. He's going to call in and complain.
Yeah. Steve?
Yeah,
We're sorry, Steve.
People we say long time or first time callers, the people keep calling and nobody's answering.
No, we have never given them a number to call. And
Operator, connect me to Tapography.
I promise if we ever give a number out, it's not ours.
It's not going to, no.
One of our close friends will be getting a lot of random number calls. Yeah.
You can call our producer, Jeff, at 555-223.
Yeah, 100%. What about you, Aaron, man? What's going on?
Been doing a little bit of travel myself. Not so much for work, but more for fun. Was over in Germany for a couple weeks. And then actually just got back from seeing these bozos in Colorado.
That was a fun trip.
I already forgot about it.
Yeah.
I forgot about it while it was happening. Nobody got leafed, which was very important.
Yeah,
very important.
I love how Aaron left and I immediately swore off beer for
dude,
a month. I was like,
I do the same thing.
I've done nothing but drink my face off.
Dude.
I lost track of how many breweries we visited around Colorado. And
this wasn't even like a special trip. This was just like same thing we do every night, Pinky.
Yeah. And I swore it off.
Try to drink the world.
Today I go into my local liquor superstore and the guy looks at me and goes, "Hey man, welcome back." I was like,
hasn't been long enough.
Yeah, I was here 4 days ago.
Yeah. Dude,
Where's all your friends?
in
Yeah.
Phoenix, we had dinners every night and people paying for our dinners, and which included drinks. And so I had drinks all until from Monday until Sunday when Aaron left. And
Yeah.
like you, I was like, I do not want to drink for a long time. So here we are recording a podcast where we
Yes,
drink
where
beer.
we're drinking beers. Yes.
Yeah.
You had
Yeah.
everybody thinking there for a quick second, Dave, that, "Oh, the podcast is buying drinks." No.
No.
This
Oh, no.
podcast, we are negative income stream here. If anything, we are the ones going like, using other people's tabs.
Yeah. What's worse than red? What's worse
Yes.
than red?
Yeah. Yeah, so, but
What about
that's
you,
awesome.
Matt? What you been doing?
Obviously had Aaron come into town and hanging out with you guys and the rest of our drinking crew, which is always great. And we definitely got to go to a couple breweries that I personally hadn't even been to in a very long time. So
Mhm.
some of my favorites, what we hit: New Terrain, Platt Park. Dave, I know you had been there, but Aaron hadn't been to Coda Brewing yet out
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Golden.
Good spot.
Good spot, great. Yeah, everything's great. The
science.
weather here is freaking I guess tonight it becomes winter, but it was very much spring, borderline summer, might say.
They keep
Yeah,
telling
I
us
didn't realize
winter
I'd
is
fly
coming.
from. Yeah, I didn't realize I'd fly from California to Colorado in the winter and be warmer than I was when I left California.
Yeah. We like I told you, we need to change the tagline at the airport. It's "Welcome to Denver, where it's summer all winter long." Yeah.
And it's gonna snow in the spring.
Exactly. Like literally tonight, as we record this, it's supposed to snow.
Yeah, it's
Like,
supposed to be
you
like
know,
a foot or so of
yeah,
snow.
something like that. And
Dang.
then tomorrow, like a Saturday, it's a high of 60 degrees and sunny. Like
Shit.
it's
Right.
ridiculous.
At least the
But
roads will be safe.
That's
yeah,
exactly it.
yeah. But yeah, so kind of moving forward here, one of the things that we kind of started this early on in the show, in the podcast, but what we try to do is with these books, we always try to find either a beer, or really, let's be honest, it can always even just be a drink that kind of goes into whether we want to, the can design, the style, the name. It can, there's really no rules for this. And so we've all found beers. I think, if I'm assuming right, you all have found some beers, and we don't actually know what the other guys brought, to the table. So
It's a surprise.
it's a surprise. So we're gonna go into those. We kind of try to drink beers kind of throughout this as we're talking about this, but before we get into that, you guys want to take a quick break, come
Sure, take a
back,
quick break.
and
Yeah.
then go go into our beers, and then eventually talk about this book.
Oh, there's a book?
There, yeah, oh, yeah. It was more of a pamphlet almost.
Brochure, if you will.
Yeah,
brochure.
a brochure. It was a highlights magazine. That's what you chose last time.
Yeah, I thought it was a timeshare, but apparently not.
Yeah, Aaron has an entire presentation for us for this. So yeah, let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and get into these beers, guys. All right, what's up, everybody? We are back. We're gonna get into some of these beers and a little bit of the book. Aaron, this was actually your book choice this week. You definitely chose a great one. I think all of us really enjoyed it. But why don't you kind of give us a breakdown, or say something about the book?
Sure. No, thank you.
Talk
So
about
Train
book.
Dreams. Talk about the book.
Yeah.
So Train
Talk
Dreams,
about the book.
Dracula musical. So Train Dreams is a novella by Dennis Johnson. It was
I did
published.
not know it was a novella, by the way.
Yeah. Actually, it
It's
was
not a
first published in,
telenovela, just a
yeah.
novella.
just a tele. Yeah, exactly. It's only 116 pages. You probably, if anyone is listening, you can probably read it while you're listening to this.
I barely finished it.
Right. It was published in 2002. It is a story about the history and the landscapes of the American West, and sort of how, a major component of the book is about how that has changed over the course of time between the late 1800s and the early to mid 1900s. And
Mhm.
so it's a view through this person who's, I think, he's about 80 years old when you're telling the story, but it's like a view of his life and the things that happen into it. There's some sort of magical, mystical sort of elements as well. They really get into a lot of grief and loss. That's a big
Mhm.
part of
Yeah,
the
they do.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually mostly grief and
Some
loss.
might say the whole story.
Story, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a comedy. We'll put it that way. Um, but it really
Nope.
does. It's really, I mean, not to like sound too like succinct about it, but it's like about the disappearance of a certain way of life that was
Yeah, like
what
the
this guy
pioneer
embodied.
days are gone, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, Industrial Revolution almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or the frontier days, let's say. The frontier
yeah.
days are gone.
Yeah, frontier days are gone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. It's not, you're not just, it was. We'll talk about it as we go on, but it wasn't just, you know, going to work every day. It was going away for the season and coming back because that was how you supported your family, and then that changed rapidly with industrialization and everything else in the West. So yeah, I picked this book specifically because I didn't know anything about it except for I knew that it was rated well, and that was actually a huge thing for me. I was like, it's relevant. I think the movie that's based on it or whatever is nominated for some Oscars, so I just thought it was a relevant book to read. I was happily I was very, I guess, happily surprised, I guess, about how
Pleasantly
uh,
surprised.
yeah, pleasantly surprised. Thank you. About how the choice ended up, and so yeah, pretty pleased. And yeah, we'll go into it. But before we go into it, Dave, can you tell me about what you've been drinking?
So, yes, funny
Tell us
story.
about the beer.
Talk
Dracula
about the beer.
musical.
So, I had a beer in mind. So when I think of trains and I think of beer, there's a particular brewery that I think of. It is a Colorado brewery.
Train beer.
Um,
Train beer.
it's called Train Beers. No, it's so
For the autistic kid who wants to drink beer. Train beer.
I'm not touching that one. So there's a brewery in Greeley, Colorado. Matt, you know where I'm
Mhm.
going with this.
I should have guessed this.
It's
Jesus.
called Weldworks. Their logo is kind of a keg that looks like a train. They make one of my, if not my favorite beer of all time called Juicy Bits. That is not the beer I have today. Um,
Feel free to sponsor us, Weldworks Brewing.
please do. We will accept your sponsorship.
We have given you enough money. You can give us a 6-pack of beer.
We volunteer as tribute.
Yes.
Um, so the beer that I found was called Starry Night. And so
Nice.
a lot of this
Mm.
Great
book
name, by the way.
takes
Mm.
place, outside, obviously. And he lives kind of in the wilderness, and sometimes he's in a cabin, sometimes he's just kind of camping. But I thought a brewery who has a logo that looks like a train with a beer called Starry Night, perfect marriage. That beer is a milk stout with some milk chocolate, some hazelnut, some coconut chips. It says milk sugar, whatever that is. But while I thought I had grabbed that beer from the store,
No.
Yeah.
somehow in a very similarly looking can, I did grab a beer that is still Weldworks, still with the train logo, and I'll show it to the guys on camera. We've seen it.
Yeah. We'll put some pictures of the cans on the Instagram after
What I
this
Yeah.
actually grabbed accidentally was
Of our
extra.
beer cans.
of our beer cans. Yeah. Of just
Let's be
Dave's
clear.
cans.
Let's be clear. Extra juicy bits is
Yeah.
the name of this beer.
No, that's
So
a great beer, by the way,
it
but it is not
is.
Starry Night.
I am thoroughly enjoying it. It is the polar opposite of Starry Night.
Yeah.
But it is juicy bits. It's got a train logo. Um, or it is Weldworks, and but it is 8.6%. So
Yeah.
I will be nursing this guy for a little while.
So about halfway through this episode, Dave's gonna get the hiccups.
Yeah. We can edit that out in post.
Yeah, we'll do it in post. That's
But yeah,
both of those are great beers.
great
actually.
beers. Weldworks, you can't miss. It's a great brewery. Love it so much. We've been there
Yeah.
several times, given them so much of our money, and I just
Yes.
I immediately thought of it.
We're not complaining how much money we've
No,
given
not at
them.
all.
It is
I
well
will give
worth
them
it.
more money.
Weldworks is well worth it.
Extra bits of my money. I will give.
Yes.
But
Nice.
Matt, what are you drinking?
Well, that's hard to follow up a brewery like Weldworks. I'll tell you that right now. You know, as someone who on this show, I have definitely a tendency to lean into the Colorado local brewery scene.
Hard not to.
You know, it really is hard not to. I always give them the benefit of the doubt. This time I did go outside the
Nice.
state, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So this one I actually had seen. I'm going to throw a picture of it in the chat for these guys. I had actually seen this one multiple times as I've gone back and forth, and I've never actually got it. Right now I opened it and I haven't even tried it. But my beer, and I'll tell you why afterwards, is from Little Beast Brewing out of Oregon, and it's called Pine Top IPA. Okay.
Very nice.
For one, starting off, the can design just 100% goes with kind of the
Absolutely.
non-trained side of this whole novella of this whole story. Literally, the two things that this book, that your brain will kind of generate an image of, is working within logging and trains. And one is for the other, and vice versa, you know? So this one, so it's a fresh hop West Coast IPA, which is surprising because I'm not the hugest
You're not a
fan
West
of
Coast
West
guy.
Coast. But what got me was the actual kind of how it reads, basically a citrus, tropical, and balanced. It says heaps of fresh hops, which I'm totally down with. Centennial, Mosaic, Chinook amplify the lush, and resinous, which I'm love a resin kind of taste, a pine taste for that of the Pacific Northwest native.
Yeah.
So let me try this real quick. Oh shit, that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Nice.
So yeah, Little Beast Brewing out of Oregon. I almost said Oregon, Colorado. Little
I don't know
Beast.
who should be offended more.
No. So yeah, you can see just the pine trees on it. Killer.
Great can.
It's great. It's clocking in at 6.4% ABV, so not bad at all. I'll be drunk a little after Dave. So
A little bit long.
But yeah, that's pretty much why it really connected with me. Honestly, as soon as I kind of got about halfway through this actual can popped into my head because I had just seen it over and over again, and I just always passed it by because, like I said, unfortunately, I'm not I don't gravitate towards West Coast IPAs, West Coast style, I should say. So, but Aaron, this brings it back to you.
Sure. So I have chosen something a little different. So something that really struck me about this story in general was the juxtaposition of the old and the new, and the old ways and the new ways, and the change over time. And so I went with a German brewery that has been around since 1455.
No way, a German
brewery?
I never saw that one coming.
I feel
saw that one
shocked.
coming.
Yeah. If you've ever seen any of our prior episodes, you're saying the same thing.
I'm glad I could continue to be predictable
nothing
part
is
of your
not
life.
consistent.
If anything, you're consistent.
That's exactly it. So this is Kloster Andex, which is a German brewery in the Bavarian region, really close to the Alps, about an hour south of Munich. Beautiful brewery. Been there a couple times, actually. The brewery is run by monks, and it's exclusively brewed by monastery monks. Benedictine Abbey there. It's been around for quite some time, and yeah, I just that was
That's
really
very cool.
spoke to me
It is cool.
as a part
I'm
of the yeah.
I'm just full of jealous rage right now.
Mm, mm. And the cool thing is that they don't actually use any bittering hops in any of their beer. It's all brewed in like a traditional process, and so yeah, they only use aroma hops and no bittering hops. So
No.
the
Interesting.
it's actually super low. They only really produce a few different beers. This is the Hellas. They do a
Show
couple
the
different
can of it or
Hellas's,
the
and
bottle?
yeah, it's
Oh, nice.
Okay,
That is
Cherry's
pretty cool.
German.
Damn it, that is a cool
yeah,
that's a cool
it's
bottle.
only I think it's only what like 4.8%. So it's an easy drinker, and you could drink. I mean German beer. You know, you're just designed to drink liters of, and so that's kind of cool. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I've been drinking, and yeah, it's never let me down.
Nice. Well, I'm sure we will definitely have some more beers to talk about halfway through this, and they could just be any beers we want to
Okay.
drink while we're talking about this.
It's probably gonna be
So,
more of this because it's really good.
yeah, exactly. So, but awesome. Those all sound fantastic. I know mine is. Again, we'll throw some. We always kind of keep track of these beers on our Instagram account, and if you haven't,
And our
if you
website.
haven't found us, go find us. So yeah, and we also keep a logbook of all of our beers on the website. And kind of brief descriptions and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. It's kind of fun around to play with there. So,
For sure.
well, awesome. Well, we're gonna dive into this book. Let's take a quick break, come back, and then we'll pretty much this is our last break
Right.
before we get into the book, and we'll kind of talk about the book for quite a bit here.
Are
So,
you trying to say
uh,
that we're gonna jump
Talk
on a
about the
train?
book.
yeah, we got to
Jump on
catch
this
this
train?
train. We got to catch this train, and
Me too, motherfucker.
when so yeah, we'll be back here, guys. All right, we're on the train, guys. We're on the train. We're going.
Do the locomotion.
We're let's talk about this book, man. It was personally just real quick, I thought it was really interesting. It was not what I thought it was going to be, and we'll go into detail kind of about that, but Aaron, this is your book. I'm going to let you take it away.
Cool. So I agree. I thought this book was great. I was really I mean, it's hard to even call it a book. The novella was great, but they have there's a lot happens in a short amount of time.
It does.
The way that the writing is, it's very succinct. It's not like very like elaborate, like and the sky was
Yeah, so
lavender and like
for the
yeah,
people who don't who may not know, what makes it a novella, what like that, you know?
I don't know. It's just a
Oh,
short book.
did you not Google that beforehand?
You
No, I didn't think I
you did
didn't
not send us these questions beforehand.
You're
I
not
didn't think I
getting
was gonna
my
have to answer
emails that I
questions.
send you?
I didn't think.
No,
Listen, I already get enough of you. I get so many requests of you for picks. I don't have time.
I know. Well, I'm not gonna say what it is because I could be completely wrong, and people will
Well, yeah,
definitely let
It
us know
has to
about that.
be like
yeah. Matt, why don't
it's
you
like
tell us
the
what it
amount
is?
of words, right? It's like the amount of words in the book, how
I think
long
it's
it
the
is.
styling of the story too, like how it's structured. Basically, each chapter is it's not linear story, so each chapter is almost just like
This
its
is definitely not
mini
linear. The
story.
book is not.
Apparently, it's characterized by it's 15 to 40,000 words, 70 to 160 pages.
Yeah. So it's length.
That's
Shorter than a
exactly what we
novel,
said,
longer than a short story.
verbatim.
Well, I'm glad that
Yeah.
we're off to a good start, everybody.
Did
Matt,
we
any more
need
questions
to
before we
talk
jump
about
in?
Aaron, you're doing great.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was have to do. I didn't know I was going to have
I
a
didn't know
pop
there was going to be
quiz.
a quiz.
Hope you guys studied up because there's a quiz in 3 minutes. All
Yeah. Now, what do you know?
right, Aaron, let's go.
Golly. So, okay. So this book is filled with tragedy and
So much tragedy.
moments. I think that there's some
Mostly.
interesting like capacities within this story. So, just to like give another like a real quick. So this guy, he kind of is telling his story from his perspective as a 80-year-old who's kind of on his deathbed or like near the end of his life. Um, he actually runs through his entire life, including his own death, which is really interesting. And so there's a lot of components of this story that have some sort of like magical component or some sort of or
Like
side
supernatural.
It definitely
supernatural.
leans
Yeah.
into the like the what is it? Fantical, yeah, wherever you say that, fantasy style, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like I find that really interesting because it leads me to think that the narrator may not be that reliable. Like, what is he saying?
Mhm.
What's his memories?
Yeah, it could be that he's, like, senile or,
Yeah.
he's just remembering things a certain
Yeah.
way, but it's not exactly how it was.
Did you guys
Yeah,
also get the feeling like every every person, like almost every story that he's retelling is from someone on their deathbed?
I
yeah.
mean,
No,
there's a lot of that.
There's
almost every
like
chapter ends
a
in death.
good portion of it is just literally
It's like,
how this person this is this person, this is how they died,
how many
and this is the
people did
story
you
they
meet
told.
that didn't die
Right?
shortly after?
So is what's his name? Grainer?
Yeah,
Granier.
Grainier.
Grain is he death? Because it's
He could be death.
Yeah, should we be talking about him right now? If you say
Oh, we're
his
all
name
gonna die
3
shortly after
Yeah.
this is done.
Is he
yeah, if you say
Beetlejuice? If we
Grainier
say Grenier 3 times in a row, he
in a
I
appears.
mirror,
mean,
yeah.
we just did.
Shit.
So
We have to say
watch
it one
out.
person though, Zas. It can't be a
Okay, so
collective,
how
right?
I've only said it once. So
I'm not saying, "Hey,
For now.
what was his name?"
What's
Oh,
your
Robert
favorite
Granier?
beer?
Oh,
Mhm.
What's your favorite beer from Seattle that starts with a G?
It
Grenier.
doesn't start
Shit.
with a G, Aaron, but it does rhyme.
It does rhyme, for sure,
So I guess my
and that
question for
beer
you
is
guys is,
fantastic.
okay, yeah. So getting back to it though, because each one of these stories, it sort of is like its own little short story about, and it ends with a fatality or something tragic.
Yeah.
What one kind of, as you're reading it, which one really stuck with you the most?
Ooh,
So I'll go. The one that
yeah.
stuck with me was the man on the hill, I guess, like in the woods when he's younger, right? Like he's like a kid. He stumbles
Mhm.
across this man that's been stabbed, been murdered essentially, and robbed. And this guy just tells him the story, a horrific story about it was his niece, right? And so like
Mhm.
he was living with his sister and she had how old was the daughter? Like 10,
Like
12 years old?
4, 10, 12, yeah, something like 12, yeah,
Something
12,
like
sorry.
that. And
Yeah.
he's like starts getting interested in her and starts like sneaking into her bedroom. And doing
Oh,
eventually starts
100%.
doing things like, oh
Shit's
my
gross.
god.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
well, so speaking of death, like there's two deaths in this part of the story because one, he's talking to this man telling him this horrific story who's dying. And then this little girl, her dad finds out that she's pregnant and beats her to death. And
Tries to beat the baby out of
out
her.
of her. And I'm
It's
just like that one, like when I read that, I was like, this is taking a turn that I did not quite expect. Cause that's fairly early on in the book,
yeah,
in the
Yeah.
novella. And I
yeah.
was just like, okay, so this
That's
is
like
what we're
chapter
in for.
3.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
So that one stuck out to me. Like it
yeah.
was just and you can tell, I feel like that story and finding that man just kind of was
Mhm.
like affected
So
Robert for the
100%,
rest of
and
his
there's
life.
so many more that, like, I was actually losing track of kinda how he was meeting some of these people
Mhm.
because it's
Yeah.
always just like, I don't even know if they I don't e I don't actually even know if he kind of goes into deeply how he meets some of these people. He's just like, for the one that I remember the most is they just refer to him as Mr. Peterson, and Peterson
Mhm.
basically got shot by his own dog with his rifle, okay?
Sorry, it's not funny,
And
but
it
it
does
is.
it never confirms nor denies
No,
what actually
the
happened.
only thing he does confirm is that it was his dog and it was his
His
rifle. He's very adamant about that. And he also, Mr. Peterson kind of goes into a little like kind of what we alluded to before, the fantasy. I don't actually know if Mr. Peterson exists, like, because it's kind of almost in like a dreamlike state that he's remembering this, and he talks about a wolf girl
Yes.
Mhm.
and, like, having a baby with a cow. Do you remember him
Yeah.
talking
Oh
about that?
god,
Yeah.
yes.
Getting on a log and fucking a cow.
This
I'm not even making this
this
part
book
up.
went some places.
If you
And
haven't read this
so
book, you're definitely gonna want to now.
his literal words were, "Have you ever stood on a stump
Yeah.
and made like," and I can't even remember what he said
There
after
was a
that, like,
specific term he had for it,
yeah,
and I
like,
think
yeah.
I blocked it out because it
I
was
do remember Grenier, he basically was like, "What now?"
Come
You know?
again?
So how this came about was it was during a part of the main character's life where he was basically running almost like a wagon taxi, and,
Mhm.
this guy was missing part of his skull, basically, and he kept looking at him, and then finally he was like, "What the fuck happened to you?" And that's when the guy was like,
"Hey, man, what's up with your
"My
skull?"
dog shot me with my gun." Like, yeah, that
So, we need
I
to
do
get you to a hospital.
yeah, I, that was the out of there are a lot of memorable characters, not all of them are, known for running away to the railroad because of crimes that they committed
Mhm.
when they were younger, but, yeah, Mr. Peterson is, definitely a character I remember.
And the wolf girl
Yeah.
comes into play later
The
on.
wolf
Yeah.
girl she comes back, guys.
I mean,
She
that's
Full
like
comes back.
circle.
it's like
Yeah,
it's like Chekhov's gun. It's the wolf girl. It has to
it's
happen. Like,
yeah.
you can't present
I think
that
there
and
was
not
even
come back.
there was another character another, spiritual character, but I can't even remember right now, yeah.
Yeah. The guy that stood out for me in context of the book was Peoples, Arn Peoples. So he's like the guy who was like he was like the dynamite guy from the
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Marine
yeah, yeah.
Service.
Yeah.
So he was like superstitious
Mhm.
but he was like, Grenier in the beginning of the book is like introduced as like someone who is not 100% sure like what year he was born or where he was
Mhm.
born at.
Yeah.
But he was orphaned as a kid and sent to Idaho, and that's he got adopted by a family there, and that was sort of like what. So when he's like working to rebuild this like gorge bridge, he was he met this guy who kind of, I mean, they don't say it outright, but it's like, he clearly respects like this older guy who's
Yeah.
like not quite a father figure necessarily in that sense, but it's like the closest maybe he's had to somebody who's like,
Right.
hey, here's a wiser older person.
I think he
And the
sees himself in that guy.
Yeah,
yeah, I think that's a good way to
Mhm.
put it.
and he doesn't even
And
remember his parents, right? Like, he doesn't remember
no,
his
No,
family,
his
and he doesn't
earliest
remember his
memory, I think he said, is like his aunt and uncle or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
and his
Mhm.
cousins, and
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent him on a fucking train with a note on him essentially to
With
say like,
just
all
a
right,
dream.
yeah.
With
just
just a dream.
of trains. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. We
Which
did it, guys.
I'm gonna come. They said the thing. They said the
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
I guess I'll have to be Superman 4.
Yeah.
Quest for
It's
Peace.
always fun. It's
That's
always
why they call it
fun
that.
when stories or even movies, I always like to figure out how they're gonna slip in the actual title of
Yeah.
this thing.
I guess this is quote, the age of Ultron.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I gotta be the asshole that says that this hot tub is a time
Time
machine?
machine.
No,
Drink.
but so that really stuck out to me because like they're essentially going about like he does this all this crazy stuff. This guy's been in logging his entire life, more or less, and he does dynamite and stuff. And what does he like get killed by? Just some random ass tree branch falling down.
Yeah,
Tree
falling on
branch
him.
falling down, a widowmaker.
A widowmaker.
Yeah. It's like it's not like interesting. It's not really all that great. And he doesn't even die immediately. He like dies a couple days later.
No, it's actually pretty sad because he he starts hallucinating, he forgets his own name at one
Uh-huh.
point. Um, but I also feel like that time of the world, everything was a rock falls out, that was a widowmaker rock,
Yeah.
Well,
like
I got a
a
paper cut. I guess
a horse yeah, a
I'll
horse
give you
kicks
my
you.
last
That's a
rites.
that's a widowmaker horse.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, but I agree with you, Arn Peoples was his character was kinda cool because, like you said, he had been I would believe he was just born into that life
Right.
Yeah.
of that shit, and he Yeah, his whole thing of working the dynamite, and then sometimes it doesn't go off when he tries to do it, when he tries to make it explode
We've all been
was
there.
pretty awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. Maybe you
Yeah.
had too much to drink that day.
No, I mean, I think that's a good point. I mean, this guy's got, like all these, it's just, yeah, that one actually, the other one that really kind of like stuck with me is like one of the first stories is like when they tried to, he actually did die, but, like he tried to throw off that dude from the Chinese guy from the
Oh
bridge.
At the
yeah,
beginning of the book.
Fu Sheng? Is that
Yeah.
his
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
was his name? Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't did they even ever say why they
No,
tried to throw him
No,
off? Yeah.
I
because
don't
he's
think so.
Chinese and they didn't like it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Fuck if I know.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you guys real quick. Have you guys seen the movie from this book?
I have seen the movie.
I didn't get a chance to watch it,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
That's
But I
great,
did
actually.
wonder as I read this book, I was like, how
Mhm.
are they gonna make this a movie?
Right? I know, right?
They
Or
do
how
actually
did
make it a
they?
Yeah.
movie, but they have to change a couple things, not in a bad way, but and actually not necessarily change things. Do you want me to just talk briefly about what the differences are?
Go for it, Matt.
Spoiler alert.
Just briefly, certain characters don't hold as much weight in the movie
Okay.
as in the book. Fu Sheng, for instance, that is literally just a passing thing that happens.
It's like the first
Y
scene in the movie, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's like
and
and they actually throw him off and
Well,
kill
the
him,
book
so
too.
they actually throw him off and kill him. Um, and the other thing, the actually the biggest, I would say, change, is instead of it being a novella form, it's actually a linear story where you're
Mm.
actually moving through Robert's life with him, but instead of him, I guess, experiencing these events, these are actually flashbacks.
Mhm.
They're in flashback form, kind
Mhm.
of thing. So,
Yeah.
um, it would be really chaotic to watch this as a novella,
Yeah, 'cause
as a
the book
movie.
jumps all over the place, like,
Yeah.
It completely
he
does. I
goes
mean, at
back
one
to
point,
his childhood, he goes
yeah,
back to when he's
it
old, he
starts
goes
out
to
as him an adult, and then he throws
yeah.
him
Mhm.
as a kid, and it's a little jarring when I didn't know the book was that style. I literally, Aaron, you said it, I bought it. I started listening to it, and I
Mhm.
seriously re-listened to the first 3 chapters twice because I was like, "What the hell is happening right
Yeah, yeah, it's really
now?"
you almost have to I mean, it's short enough that you can do it, but you almost have to
Oh,
listen
yeah,
to it twice because it's like
100%.
the whole
Yeah,
thing is sort of like, "What?
yeah.
Uh,
But honestly, once I actually understood that part and was kind of my brain was, like, listening for these kind of changes, I've yeah, I was in. I was in.
Yeah. Once you
Yeah,
understand what the style is of the
yeah,
book and how it's written and how the story's being told, it becomes a lot more clear. Because when it starts off, like you said, it's Fu Shang, like, they're carrying this guy, he's all tied up,
Mhm.
apparently he's committed some kind of crime, but
Yeah,
we don't know, and they're gonna just throw him off the cliff kinda thing, and you're like, "Okay, so we're gonna get into what happened here, and we're gonna talk about, like, these characters in the that are working on this railroad," but no, it's more about the main character, about Robert. It's a character study in his
yeah.
life and what he's gone through and how much. And honestly, what I think is interesting is, like, I think this time period, especially, like, in the Pacific Northwest, like, this is how life was, like, people were just and even
Mhm.
before that, but just during his life, people were just died for stupid reasons.
I mean, you
yeah,
stub your toe wrong
Yeah,
and you die.
your dog shoots you, like,
Yeah.
who
yeah,
Hey, man, I would argue that that probably happened more more often
yeah,
than you think. One other thing was before about the just the difference between the movie and the book, is the book is very much, Aaron, like you said, it's the whole thing is kind of being told, from him remembering back and
mhm,
how he basically these memories kind of go over the arcing story of the world is changing, all these things change, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. And this is where I ended up, kind of thing. I
mhm,
experienced these things, I experienced other stories, and this is where I end up.
Yeah,
The movie very much focuses on uh I'm not gonna necessarily get give it away because we haven't talked about this, but a very big loss happens to Robert, and the whole movie is really about one general storyline of I should have been there kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
And so that's
Talk
kind
about
of
talk about Pearl Harbor.
yeah, exactly. He should have been
That
there.
did
It would have
happen in
been
his lifetime,
completely different.
technically.
Yeah. I mean, we can touch base on that. The timing of this is nuts. Like
Impeccable.
his life, the shit that he saw in his lifetime. I think we'll touch base that towards the end because there's obviously something that it gets to experience towards the end. But that's probably one of the biggest differences is how they portray the overarching storyline. The movie is all about I should have been there, I wasn't there,
Mhm.
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
go
I
ahead,
think
Aaron. I'll throw it back
no,
to you.
no. I
we
think no.
Do
That's
we
a
want to
really
get
good.
into that? Like what the big traumatic
Well, that's what I was
event
gonna
is?
say. It's like I think
Yeah.
that's worth getting into. But before we do, I just want to say like that the way that they structure it in the film versus in the which if you haven't seen the film, definitely read the book and watch the film afterwards because I
Yeah.
think the cinematography is beautiful. If you looked into
It's
like how they
beautiful.
made
Yeah.
it, they did this like crazy candle stuff to like make it like look
Yeah.
relatively normal. Anyway, yeah,
Also
definitely watch it.
the the actors and actresses in the
Oh,
call list for this fucking movie
yeah,
is nuts.
Edgerton's
Your
great.
your guy, what's his name?
Is it-
Arn Peoples is William H. Macy.
yeah,
Like
yeah, from Jurassic
it's
Park 3.
from
Yeah,
yes, from Jurassic Park
What he's
3.
best known for.
best
What
known for.
he doesn't get better than Jurassic Park 3, but
So I'm saying.
yeah.
But this
But
is
yeah,
close.
Yeah, Joel
yeah,
Egerton, Felicity Jones.
who does a great
Schneider,
job.
yeah.
Felicity Jones, if you're listening, you do a great job. Both in,
You're 90% of what you're in is flashbacks, but
but you do
You do a
good.
great job.
yeah, you had
Yeah.
5 minutes of actual real-time reality. Yeah.
I'm
No,
I'm
that's
gonna go watch
exactly it.
the movie right after we're done recording.
Yeah.
So
But to
It's
get
like
back
2
into
hours,
it,
so. But yeah,
you
no,
guys,
100%.
real quick,
Yeah.
I think before we get into kind of the big there is an event that kind of set his life into like a particular motion, those type of things.
Direction, yeah.
A direction, yeah.
It's the dog. The
I
red
mean,
dog.
there is a dog.
There is a dog, and I legitimately said out loud, "This dog better not fucking die."
Not another Jasper.
Yeah. But let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
And then we'll circle back.
Sick.
Hey guys, let's parking lot this for a second.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh
then
yeah.
Put a pin in
We're
this.
gonna put this in the
right.
in the circle.
we're coming up to a train to a quick train stop. And
Refuel.
then, yep. All right, we're gonna come back. What's up, everybody? Coming back. Welcome back to the Tapography Podcast, the podcast where we read books that are longer than 2 hours. We promise. We promise. This is, typically longer than
Hey.
2 hours.
But
Yeah.
this book was like for content. This book was a much longer
jam-packed.
than the page.
fucking
Guys,
gold
my
mine.
my next book is Goodnight Moon. So
Nice.
There's a lot to dissect there.
takes
so.
us on
I
huge
just read it off of memory.
Yeah, this book had a lot less rhyming in it, so that'll be really nice.
You know what?
that was a
next time-
detriment.
Yeah,
no rhyming,
Actually,
just
that's
less.
actually a negative in my in mine. Where were all the pop-up trees?
Yeah,
you
scratch
know?
and sniffs. I wanted to do some sniffing.
Yeah. I saw very little trains actually in this book.
Yeah,
Yeah, where was
honestly,
Thomas?
None of the
Damn.
trains talk to each other. Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
But-
sorry you guys didn't like the book.
But
just
Aaron,
wasn't-
I'm gonna give it back to you. We got a lot more to get into. Let's go.
We do. And I'm going to interrupt that, though, and ask you real quick. How's those beers, guys? And everybody enjoying what they got?
It was delicious.
Yeah, the extra
not-
extra juicy bits.
I'm not
is-
converted over to West Coast.
Give
but
it time. Give it time.
It was
baby.
good.
Give it time.
I actually I did switch it up though.
Okay.
I did switch it up.
Look at you. Okay.
Look at me. Look at me. Playing. I'm playing it fast and loose when I say switch it up because I just got
Emphasis
a
on loose.
local beer You
Okay.
know, who knew me?
Wow.
Local to me is Aaron just bringing it back to the United States.
That's exact. I was
But
gonna say, yeah. That's to say, local to you is German for me. So it's
yeah. For me, I went with a local brewery in my area called Alidade Brewing. Fairly new, actually.
It
Great
is.
spot, great place for just chilling, nice vibe. But I did the numerator. It's a Doppelbock.
nice.
It's a good one.
So,
It's a
yeah,
great logo on that.
really like
By
that
the way,
place.
really
Yeah,
good
it is.
logo.
definitely very much an explorer type of theme from them.
It's like a
Great.
sextant, isn't it? Like some
Yes,
sort of-
yeah.
It's an
yeah.
alidade. Like the tool
It's
is literally
what they
called
call it?
called. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I don't know.
Called
I'm
an
not a sailor. I'm not a
There's
salty
a lot of
sailor.
things you don't know this
Yeah.
episode, Aaron.
But I don't derail us. David, what do you got?
So yeah, the extra juicy bits was fantastic as always. Can't miss.
Now
with,
he has extra
extra.
juicy
Just
bits.
you know the difference between extra juicy bits and extra juicy bits.
Extra.
It's that little extra.
The funny part is we joke about that, but I think they actually do
They
have the
probably
extra,
do. I mean,
extra,
they're just
extra
keep
juicy.
adding
I'm sure
extras
they
and
do. At some
until somebody
point,
stops
just
them.
make it enough.
It's
Just make it
it's
be
just gonna
enough.
be liquor at some point.
Yeah, at one point it's just it's a can of hops. It's all it is.
It's just rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
But I did pivot to another
Pivot.
local brewery,
Ooh.
Cerebral Brewing, which we all know and
Ooh.
love. Great place.
They're doing the Lord's work.
And I have pivoted to Muscle Memory, which is a
That was
pale ale.
You didn't even think about it. Your hand just reached out
Oh,
and
just reached
grabbed
out
it,
for it?
basically. Yeah.
No, I didn't even know I grabbed it until I
No.
got to the counter.
That's actually a fucking fantastic beer. I know that
It
beer.
really is. It's great. And it's
It's great.
much
Yep.
less ABV than extra.
But the flavor of that one is fucking killer.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's great.
Great one.
Fantastic. Cerebral is a great local brewery.
Yep.
Yep.
Aaron, have you
Yeah.
pivoted or are you
Aaron,
still enjoying more of the same?
Well, some people would say I'm enjoying more of the same, but I have pivoted to a different German beer.
Different German beer. Very
This
similar
is a
name. I feel like you're saying the same name.
I mean, it's pretty close. Ondex. This is
I mean, it's in a
Etaler.
different bottle.
Yeah.
This is Etaler, the Etal Monastery Brewery. So it's also a monastery brewery, 400 years old, and still run by the monks. So this is all brewed by holy men, so it must be good for you, right?
Apparently. Yeah.
If it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me.
I mean, I love the fact
They
that
did
at
sell it,
least you're
so-
drinking out of a Stein.
Of course. I mean, I'm not a. I'm a man of tradition. That's
Not
what
a
I do.
peasant.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, but no, it's just I really like it. It's good stuff. I don't know
yeah.
where Etal is. Where is Etal in Germany? Anyway, I'll look that up. Maybe we'll talk about it later.
within the borders.
It is.
Well, so-
you know what? It is within the borders.
But I
It's
think
near
we need to get
Oberau.
let's get into kind of the meat of the story of the book. There's a very large traumatic event that happens to Robert. He does go like early on in the book. He talks about how he meets his wife. Actually, very very early on.
Yeah,
It's
basically
like with his
almost
but-
starts
but, like,
the book.
yeah,
But
in the the second chapter after they try to kill
Gladys.
Fouchang, he talks about how he meets Gladys, but he also he has a newborn daughter that and it gets kind of into some details about how she's feeding that daughter, which made me a little uncomfortable, but it is what it is. Still a good story. But yeah, so he meets Gladys when he's like what, through church, and she's like a
yeah, he walks by her
yeah.
and catches her eye, and they immediately have a baby.
Right then and
That's
there.
how it works, man. That's
quite
what my
literally
mom
how it
told me.
worked back then. Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
had my kids.
He's like, I own a cow, and she said, I do. Yeah.
You do.
But so he
too,
talks a little bit
or-
about their background and their love story, right? Like they go out to this field and then he asks her to marry him and they kiss and
Very
whatever.
Armageddon-ish. Yeah.
It was very like the animal
super-
crackers.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, it's interesting because they have a pretty. I mean, the courtship of that is pretty quick in the book. Like it's not a long.
yeah, they don't
passage.
get too deep into it.
Of all the things that
but-
he gets deep into, it's not that part. But
But And Aaron, I'll let you kind of get more deep into it, but there is a traumatic event that happens that involves his wife.
Yeah, so one of the greatest, like one of the greatest, God, that's a horrible way to put it. One of the most
Wow, we know
interesting
what Aaron
component
thought.
passages
Yeah.
in the book, a pivotal in every sense of the word passage of the book is when um he goes off, he being Granier, goes off to another one of his stints out in the Pacific Northwest um, logging. And so he spends several months logging during the summers, and he will, he fells trees. It's dangerous work. We talked a little bit about some of the people around him who died and doing some of that dangerous work. And right before he leaves, he tells his wife and his kid, like, this is going to be my last summer, essentially, doing this because he's going to try to spend more time with his kid. She's like growing up while he's not even there, is what he feels like.
Mhm.
The passage of time in this book is not 100% clear all the time about how much
Yeah.
time passes
No, it doesn't
between.
get it. Yeah.
He's obviously it's all because it's coming from memories,
Yeah.
not actual time.
Right. So yeah, it's hard to say like, oh, like how long did he work for? And it's like they don't really get into that. So
Yeah.
what they do say is that he left, and when he came back, there had been a forest fire, and in that forest fire, the entire cabin had burned down, and there was no sign of either his child or
Yeah.
Gladys.
So was the
Kate
fire
or
still
Gladys.
going on when he got there?
That's
A
it.
little
Yeah,
bit,
that's
The
right.
yeah.
forest was still on fire, but his house was already gone.
So,
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
everybody else had some like, some losses and stuff like that, and he goes to explore his property where his
Mhm.
cabin is, and it takes him a little bit to get there, but he gets there, and it's like everything is just smoldering.
It's crazy, yeah.
His cabin is, like, basically completely gone. He obviously doesn't see his wife and his daughter, and, yeah, it's, like,
Yeah.
devastating
Yeah, he has
damage.
at this point, he literally has no idea if they are
But
alive or
right,
dead
because at the
or
same time,
anything.
he doesn't find, like, bodies or charred
Yeah,
remains or
never
anything like
does.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, he
So
never actually finds any remains.
no.
Yeah, there's no evidence. Well, that's not, I guess this is the part where kind of like you're like, was this part of the dream? Is this
Yeah,
not?
yeah,
He sees like her bonnet like float down the river.
yeah.
And then this is
Well,
sort of where the majority of like the more mystical,
mhm,
fantastical parts kind of start.
yeah. He holds on to this idea that maybe they, or at least his daughter, was put down to save her kind of thing. Like, he holds on to this idea of maybe the people down the river have my daughter
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
thing,
so,
but
like, eventually,
doesn't really come to anything.
he eventually he camps, like, by the river for a while,
Mhm,
right? And he just kinda stays there, and then eventually he rebuilds his cabin, and he starts staying there full
mhm,
time. Like, he used to just kinda summer there, I think, and he would do
Mhm.
other winters elsewhere. And now he's just kind of starts staying there full time. And this book is called Train Dreams, and it talks a lot about the different dreams that he has and the things that he sees. And at some point, he sees like a spirit, essentially, like he
Mhm.
sees
yeah.
his wife,
Yeah.
Like,
and
she keeps talking to him, and he starts talking back like she's real.
yeah,
Yeah.
he finds
Mhm,
himself talking to her, and he kind of realizes that he's like, I'm talking, but I'm kind of talking to myself.
yeah,
But he sees his wife, and like he has like this vision or dream of what happened during the fire.
mhm,
So like his wife grabs the kid, she grabs a Bible and some chocolates, and she tries to escape the fire, and she gets to a point where she drops the Bible instead of the chocolates, and he says in the book that that's her downfall basically. But
I mean, you
she
gotta remember the time that
yeah.
this all took place,
Yeah,
yeah,
right, exactly, like, they're religious people and all that stuff, and so but, like, she doesn't even burn to death, like, she gets to a point where she can't move, but she drowns in the river, essentially, but the baby, like, floats away, or not, she's not a
yeah.
baby, but, like, the kid floats away down the river,
It's like a
and
toddler, I think, at that point
yeah,
or
and he's
something,
like,
yeah,
and his daughter's name is Kate, and he's like, "Kate is still alive. She still survived." But he's like, he's thinking there was nothing in the news about that. Nobody like
yeah,
talked about how they found a kid or anything. So he's like, he's not sure what to believe at this point, but he has this vision.
yeah. this was also a part in the book where almost everything that he was remembering can be construed as a vision and not a memory
Mhm.
Mhm.
kind of thing. He was very much not in the right state of mind at this point in his life. I think I felt like he was grasping at straws at this, just
Yeah, it may
looking
have
for
been. It may
anything
have
and
just him.
everything.
He was trying. He could have just been. His mind was creating
Yeah.
something for him
So
to
he
grab on.
obviously holds on to this. This is a super tragic thing, and this event really, I would say that it's shaped, but it also is just a dark cloud hanging over him the rest of his life,
Right.
basically. Yeah.
And it talks about him being a hermit for a long
Mhm.
time, living, and he doesn't
Yeah.
even realize that he's actually a hermit.
Yeah.
Like, I think at one point he's like he's like riding with that woman, and then his friend who's trying, like, this is a widow, and he like took her husband's body to go be buried
Yeah.
or whatever. And then this other guy that he knows from working with is like trying to marry this lady.
Yeah. It was super weird. That part
It
was
was
super
fun.
weird,
Yeah.
because it was like
Mhm.
an old man that kept trying to marry this younger lady or something. But also at one point, he's working with this so, let's not skip too far ahead because he starts to rebuild his life after a decent amount of time, I guess you
Mhm.
could say, of him kinda going in and out of memory or whatnot. He rebuilds this house. He cannot bring himself to rebuild the bedroom. So
Mhm.
Mhm.
it's just him, and it's just basically a square log cabin kind of thing. He gets a dog.
He does, the red
He
He
dog.
does
does.
he does get a dog. A dog
The
like
red
a
dog.
He actually thinks that they're like city pups because they're not wolves, but he's like, how the hell did you guys get out of here? It's like a
Yeah.
mom and a
Yeah.
pup, but the mom
Yeah.
like basically leaves the pup with him kind of
Mhm.
thing. So he raises this dog, uh, kind of, makes him helps him get through certain things, but he starts kind of getting back to his life. And at one point he's like helping some people and their son dies,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
he like picked up he through some things, he like they got to load up this dead body, and he's like, that's the first person I've touched in like
In years.
years
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. I'm like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy. Eh
Yeah, he's like this quintessential woodsman, and I think it's interesting. Like you think about the folklore essentially of the American West and how like woodsmen we celebrate that and how
Mhm.
these like kind of loners out in the middle or anywhere from Thoreau all the way to Jeremiah Johnson,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert Redford movie about how like we celebrate that, but that's like the reality of that life is it's just incredibly lonely.
Yeah.
And yeah, the first person he touches in years is a dead
As a
body.
dead
Is a
person.
dead
Yeah.
body. Like
Like
like a teenager's dead body.
yeah.
You
Who
guys wanna see a dead
he
body?
he died with a heart condition, obviously.
Yeah, some kinda heart condition. He just collapsed one day. Like, he was a young, strong guy,
Yeah.
and he just collapsed one day, and
He was like, I don't feel good, and then just
yeah, and there's
died.
he
That
was
was
like, "I'm
that.
dizzy," and there's
Yeah, I'm dizzy, and then died.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which goes to the rest of the story about how all these deaths are so unremarkable in the way they happen. They're not this
right.
dramatic, like, you know, sort of you know, like play or movie moment. It's just like, oh, it's going through regular life and
And
then just something happens.
it never
Mhm.
really, like, at least I don't recall, but you would think that Robert is like, "I've seen all these people die. Why haven't I died? Of all the things that I've done and been
Yeah,
through, why
Well,
haven't
he
I died?"
well, I mean, he
'cause
thinks
he's
that
dead.
well,
Maybe he is.
he also thinks
That's a
that
theory.
and this is and I'm using this term because it's in the book, but the Chinaman, like the
Mhm.
curse,
Mhm.
like that's
Yeah,
what's
that's
getting
true.
him.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we kinda skipped over that. Yeah, the Chinaman curse.
Yeah, and so it's like, he kinda almost sees this stuff at some point. It almost feels like it changes after Gladys dies that, he sees these things as almost inevitable versus being, like, tragic, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
so he's like, "Well, I just how it is now," or whatever, and I don't know. It's the book's not They didn't dive into his like deep inner thoughts or anything, but
No, and I don't know that he has any
Mm.
deep inner thoughts, honestly.
He may not. I don't think he
Yeah.
does. I will say when he went to pick up the lady who he took to the fire lookout,
Mhm.
and then he went back to visit her,
Yeah.
I was like, "This is it.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his life back together." Because she is a widow. He knew that already, kind of thing. But he kind of told her, he was like, "You don't want me as
Yeah.
a, I've
I'm not
I'm
the
I'm
yeah,
basically I've been married once, and
and that was enough.
that was enough." Like he's
Yeah.
like, "I'm never gonna be a husband again,"
Yeah.
kind of thing. Look, if anything, he's a simple man that's very loyal,
Yeah.
you know,
He's a good guy.
and
He's not
yeah.
trying to hurt anybody. He's just
Oh
trying
no,
to
for
get through.
of the time, he's
Yeah.
actually the one guy who's just legitimately there to provide for his family.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
he never had a apparently he never had a sip of alcohol, never had a beer, never drank anything. He just went his whole life, 80 years, just going through the motions, doing what he had to do, no
Mhm.
matter
can
what
you
happened.
imagine? Can
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
imagine?
I can
Yeah.
only imagine.
So he obviously is going through his life, and then his memories start kind of progressing forward, kind of thing. Um, you guys, so post this, what are y'all's of his memories? What's the ones that kind of come to mind?
So the one that comes to me is the airplane, the biplane. Um,
Yeah, so that's kind of the experience I was alluding to earlier,
yeah,
was the shit that he has seen.
yeah.
He went from
Yeah.
cutting down logs by hand for a steam engine that
Mhm.
at the time was huge, for them,
Oh, yeah, peak
to
technology.
getting the chance to ride in a
Right,
biplane.
and he was, like, at some fair or
Yeah.
carnival or
$4.
whatever, and yeah.
$4.
And they had and the way they describe it does not sound safe, does not
No,
sound stable,
no.
but he decides he's gonna do this, and he goes up in the plane, and it's like and it's not a it's like a young kid,
Yeah.
like his dad and this kid are running this.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. It was, like, very much like, I think the author even kind of alluded to, like, this was very unsafe,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing, and they told him, I don't think, or maybe they didn't tell him, like, your stomach is not gonna like this."
He would say
And
something like
yeah.
he left his stomach behind and it never did
Yeah.
catch up with him.
Yeah. Never caught back up to it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not, that was a terrible ride for him, but he did it.
Yeah, he did it,
Yeah.
and he re I mean, I don't know that he regretted it, but he did not enjoy it from the way they describe it, and he's, like, they're flying, and the kid looks back at him, and he says he looks like a raccoon, and he says something to him, he doesn't know what he says,
Yeah,
and then they do, like, a nosedive.
yeah.
They go
In the
straight down,
book, that is one thing that's different in the book. In the book, he was actually riding up front, and they never talked about his stomach. There was just like a it was just kind of like an awaking moment for him, basically.
Mhm.
Or in the movie, not the book, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, and then they do the nosedive, and he gets down and he lands, he's perfectly fine, he
Yeah.
survives, but he is, like, contemplating life at that point, like, "Is the plane going down? Am I gonna die? Is this" but
I'm gonna die.
he still doesn't die, and he
Yeah.
gets down and he had that experience in this rickety plane,
Mhm.
and, yeah, that one sticks out to me. There's another one, but I'll let you guys go first, but there's another one that sticks out to me.
No,
So
for sure.
Go ahead,
So
Aaron.
I really like the conversations that he has with I'm gonna probably butcher the name, but Kootenai Bob.
Kootenai Bob?
Kootenai
Kootenai Bob.
Bob, yeah,
Yeah.
Kootenai. Yeah, yeah.
I really like the conversations that he has about how they talk about how like dog pups are smarter than babies, like just this whole
Mhm.
like that sets up the real like mythological sort of magical effect that really takes it to the end of the story with the wolf girl. And so I really like his
Goddamn wolf girl.
We're gonna have
wolf
to
girl,
talk about
man.
that after this.
We definitely are. But
Mm.
I really like it's almost like the Kootenai Bob. What'd you all call it?
Kootenai?
Kootenai?
Kootenai
Kootenai.
Bob. Yeah, I didn't listen to the story. I read it. I didn't listen to it. I was
Mhm.
like, I don't know. It's like Hermione. I don't know. Anyway, Kootenai Bob. He's sort of, I don't know. He's not he's not moving Grenier away from those more more mystical thoughts. and like seeing his wife and thinking of his daughter and thinking how that could all have kind of wrapped together. And so that's like I think that's a key part of like during that grief time that he really like has a huge influence on how he sees the world. And I really I like I just really like their interaction, as like short as it was. I just like
Mhm.
the way that it
Yeah.
went down. And honestly, the way that that guy ended again is like
Or Kootenai Bob.
this really abrupt, no reason
Yeah.
for him to
S
go out like that, but he did.
Somehow
And
he got
it's
tricked into he again, he had never had alcohol or anything
yeah.
like that. Then he
Yeah.
gets tricked into it, and it
Mhm.
Dude,
kills
he
him.
yeah,
Gets
he
hit, he
because
gets
he
hit
was
by a
drinking it
train.
like a dog. He
Yeah.
was drinking a barrel of beer with they tricked him with a shandy, basically, a
Yeah, it was a
lemonade and
shandy.
beer. Yeah. He was they tricked him, and Robert found him lapping it up like a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He
Right.
was like Landfill in,
Oh, and Beer
Beer
Fest.
Fest, where he's just trying to
Yeah.
drink the
Oh,
whole
I drink
entire
45
vat.
off the line, and I'm
Yeah.
the asshole.
Yeah. Mine, I would say I don't necessarily have a favorite. I just really enjoyed the different just the people that he freaking talked to, man. This guy was, I mean, more or less a collector of stories.
Mhm.
His memory, that's his whole thing. These train dreams is just a collection of memories for him, and whether it is the captain's kid or, Kootenai Bob. Each one of these guys had a story. Now, not all of them were righteous and good,
No.
like he didn't get to choose these stories. Um, but they all were a moment in his life, kind of thing. And to me,
Right.
that was cool. I like the fact that you got a lot of different perspectives. Some of them were stories that didn't even have to anything to do with Robert,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So that was interesting. Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. Totally.
Yeah, and then the other pieces, there's a couple more things that, so he talks about how he went to this well, there's this one okay, so it takes a turn at one point where he's like, "I'm super horny all the time." It's like, I have these
Yeah.
urges I can't control." And he's, like, going into town, and there's, like, the theater, and there's, Oklahoma lady, right? Like, I forget what they call her. Is it Tulsa? I don't know, I forget what the
I forget. Yeah, I'm trying to
but
remember
basically, he's,
who
like,
that was.
really attracted to this lady, and he doesn't know he's just like, "I have to I'm horny all the time, I can't
I
control this."
gotta get a nut.
Yeah,
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 but then
more or less.
eventually I forget how he gets over it eventually, but, he goes but the same theater, there's, the horse that he went to, the amazing horse, I forget what they call it, that, does these tricks, but everybody in the crowd is thinking, "I can get any horse to do this, it's not that amazing." And then there's another time he goes and sees, this wolf boy, and the wolf boy,
Wolf
howls.
Boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's a part of the book where, Granier is he's like, "I howl with the wolves," and all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm,
He
mhm.
started howling. Yeah.
Yeah. So that leads me into and Aaron, I want you to kinda lead this, but that leads us into, the wolf girl encounter. So
Yeah.
tell us about that.
Yeah. So Grenier is, he's still grieving. This is like, and Kootenai Bob, kind of puts this idea sort of in his head about how when they're talking over the dogs about how wolves are a part of the culture, wolves and dogs, they have a different sort of like representation within their Kootenai culture, I guess. But so the key point on here is that, his wife Gladys, when she comes back to him in a dream, she tells him that she like let Kate, the baby, go, and that the baby
Mhm.
escaped. And this is like all coming back to him in a dream. And so this like essentially amalgamates into the idea that there is stories in the countryside of a wolf girl running around, this girl that's raised by wolves. And he has gotten into his head that not only is this real, but maybe this is his daughter, that she
Mhm.
may have survived this event. Maybe she survived the fire and in the river and everything else. And so he keeps having these like, again, train dreams. he's having these like dreams of this dreams or maybe not dreams, we don't know,
Yep.
of this wolf girl, and eventually she appears to him with a broken leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's like the wolf, like he hears wolves getting closer and closer to his house, right? Or his cabin, and then eventually, like the wolves run past, but then he sees a a wolf
This
girl.
girl. Yeah. This
Yeah,
girl who he immediately is like, is this Katie?
he's like, Kate,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kate.
Yeah. Yeah. So
No,
he
and
takes
he's
her inside and basically kind of like resets her leg, by the
Yeah,
way.
and she's
yeah,
like,
and
she's
she
acting.
lets him do it, but she's
Yeah.
acting like
Yeah,
a wolf. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's acting like a wolf. She's like, she kind of snaps at him or whatever.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that that's fascinating because I want to say there are cases of like humans being raised by
I
wolves,
mean,
and they
I get it. So, yeah. So in his mind, he's like, this is Kate.
yeah,
She's in, but needless to say, he wakes up, she's gone,
yeah, she like jumps out a
and
window or something.
he's not quite sure if she left or if this never actually
Right.
happened.
Can we I wanna give this its due conversation, but I really wanna dig into just really quick the way that Wolf Girl is first presented, because it goes from the guy who got shot by a dog
Yeah.
to
It
Wolf
does.
Girl to,
Yeah.
hey, you ever fucked a cow? Like
Yeah.
in that,
Yeah,
it's like
100%.
what has just happened?
Oh, you mean Mr. Peterson? Definitely.
Yeah.
But let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
All right. Because
Yeah, it's a
that
cliffhanger right
is
there.
Well, real quick,
that is
doesn't it
a
when I talk
very
about
rich
yeah,
area.
when I talk about Robert like getting super horny, doesn't he consider fucking a cow at some point?
That's the
Because Mr. Peterson told him he
Yeah,
could.
dude.
you could, yeah. But just like
Yeah.
that sequence of events just really
Yeah.
is like, so when
Yeah.
you're reflecting back on Wolfgar, you're like, oh yeah, he was on a fucking cow, wasn't he?
Oh yeah. All right. Let's
All
take
right,
a quick
let's
break.
take a break.
All right,
We're gonna come back.
be right back.
What's
Yep.
up, everybody? We're coming back here. We're in the middle of this. We got the Wolf Girl to talk about.
Wolf Girl.
Wolf Girl.
Wolf Girl.
We got getting shot in the head by your own dog with your own gun.
Yeah, he didn't even bring his own gun.
Yeah.
I feel like my
So-
dog wrote this book because I only walked him once
This
today, and he
This could have been
Aaron
called
turns
The
around and-
Revenge of Jasper.
Yeah. Oh, I would love it if that dog's name was
Wow.
Jasper.
Jasper's Revenge.
Jasper
All right,
the
Aaron.
time traveling dog.
I'm going to throw this back over to you.
No, that's great. I love Jasper the time traveling dog. That really does something for me.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, we're really close to the end. So before we took a break, I was talking about the order of which you learned about Wolf Girl. But Wolf Girl, just to recap real quick, is Grenier thinks that's potentially his daughter, and
Yeah.
I think if anything, he may hope that is his daughter. And,
I'd like to believe it was.
Yeah, and so they don't really tell you. They don't really say like, oh, it's clearly
That's one
As
thing.
quick as she showed up, she disappeared.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's one thing
And-
about
and-
this book is it's not going to give you anything definitive, right? Like it's
No.
going to leave things open to interpretation, and you believe what you
Mhm.
want to believe.
Yeah, and this and the book itself is written in a way that's kind of dreamy itself. You know, not to not to overuse the word
It
dream,
is.
but it's like very kind of you kind of feel like you're in a haze, a fog a little bit while you're like in
So
it
if
a
you-
little bit because
Yeah, and if
it's a little,
you listen to the audiobook, that's very much how Will Patton reads it or narrates it. He
Yeah.
he makes it very like foggy and mystical and very I don't want to say artistic but it is artistic, but it's
Yeah.
he just leaves it like very like you're kind of just like floating around in a dream is what it feels like, and that's how he talks to you, like he's in a dream narrating stuff the whole time.
Oh, and all his S's sound like a train.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
I have to go back and listen to the listen to the audiobook because that sounds fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, so let's go back to it. So, in the latter half of the latter, I don't know, eighth of the story, really, So Wolf Girl comes with the pack at night. She has a broken leg. He repairs the broken leg, resets it in a very graphically resets it, and then he she actually sleeps in the cabin overnight,
Yep.
and it's like this sort of moment of him just like having a little bit of peace for a second, and I
Yeah,
think
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a connection still
mhm.
with his daughter, potentially.
Yeah, right, 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 and yeah, and the next morning she's leaps out the window
Yeah.
and never sees her again.
It seems like he gets some sort of closure from that, right? Like,
He does. I think
Mhm.
he does. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
like he's like, I know my daughter's alive. I mean, in the weirdest way possible, she's alive, right?
yeah,
She's been raised by wolves. She's still around the wooded area of my
This whole
cabin.
part of the book,
mhm.
he was high on peyote at this point.
I mean, very
Who
potentially,
which one of
right?
us isn't?
Hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting part, but I actually you said it right. I think he gets some closure from this
Mhm.
because it kinda enables him to start moving forward,
Mhm.
Yeah,
because I mean, he lives for quite a long time after this, and
yeah,
Does.
he's
1968.
he, first I to that, he lived way longer than I thought he was going
Right?
to.
Yeah,
Same.
right, yeah.
When they
I
say
mean,
that, "Oh, he died in 1968," I was like, "Holy shit." Okay.
he's
And
like
it talks
80
about,
some
like,
he's like 80 some odd years old.
yeah, it
Yeah.
Crazy.
talks about, and again, that's kind of the theme of the book, but it talks about how all these different technologies he comes across and he sees, like,
Yeah.
he's like, "I watch TV, I listen to the
Mhm.
radio,
Yeah.
I do all
He
these things."
built a bridge that a steam locomotive went over.
Mhm.
When he's remembering it, he looks over to his left, and there is a highway
Right.
Yep.
that was built over that exact same gorge.
Right.
Yeah, it's
And
And
crazy.
that's
then
crazy to
and
think
then what
about.
does he and so what does he see before, like, kinda, like, towards the end of, like, he, like, watches on TV, right? Like, he, like, essentially, right?
Mhm.
What is he
He gets
what
to
is
fly
he s
he gets to fly in a plane.
Yep,
Yeah, he gets to do all these things that oh, he goes, because he goes to Spokane. Like,
yep.
he
Yeah.
c takes the train, imagine that, to Spokane, and he sees, them walking on the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well,
Well,
I think it's John Glenn, right?
is it yeah, sorry. Yeah, maybe not walking on the moon, but he sees
Like,
them
in
in
space. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he asks, like, the girl, like, the local girl, whatever, and he's like,
Mhm. What the hell is that?
"What the fuck is this?" And she's like, "They're in space." Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and that's
over the
sort of
span
okay.
of 80 years, right? Like, he
Mhm.
sees
Mhm.
all those different
Yeah.
advancements and changes in society and technology, which is crazy to think about.
It
Yeah.
is. I mean, and this guy saw I think that's an interesting representation of the people who lived through this time period, which was I mean, the things that you would have done and they talk about it in the novel sorry, novella, as well
Novella.
about how,
Get it
you
right.
know, the year after, Gladys dies, I think, that he goes back to the logging camp, and it's like, there's chainsaws all of a sudden, and it's not
Oh,
Mhm.
just,
that's right. He doesn't actually
you
know
know
how to work one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
know how to work one, and he's, like, confused about it, and he can't get it
Mhm.
started because he's used to doing this, like, sawing thing, and it
Yeah.
doesn't really
They
work for him,
even,
but
I remember him and some of the guys were having a conversation where someone mentioned, like, um, "Oh, no, we'll never run out of wood because
yeah,
I was up in the Pacific Northwest, and there were more trees than we will ever cut down at
yep,
basically doing what we're doing now."
yeah,
And he even makes the comment of when he's around, like, the chainsaws, like, trees are just falling left and
Yeah.
right.
yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
"That's what I thought too when I was your age," essentially,
Yeah.
like yeah, it's pretty interesting, but yeah,
Mhm.
and then he passes away,
Yeah.
in his cabin,
Hmm.
and he is found, like, I don't know, the next
Yeah, his
spring or
body's
something like
there
that.
for a good long while before
Mhm.
anybody
Yeah,
finds it.
And
yeah,
that kinda is that's kinda a symbol in my mind, it was a symbol thrown back to earlier in the book when some men passed away, someone nailed boots
mhm,
to the tree, and his
Mhm.
words were, at least this way people will know that they were here at all, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think that, yeah, to me, it was kind of a nod being like, he's in his house, people will find him, people will know that he had a life, he had stories, those type of things. But
Yeah.
it does make me wonder, I don't, and correct me if I'm wrong, dude, does when he's telling this back, when he's telling the story back, is he talking to anybody specific?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think he's just recalling
Yeah. So he
everything that happened.
remembers he was always there for other people to tell stories to,
Mhm.
but we don't necessarily know if his stories were being told to anybody.
I mean, I think
No.
that's the novel. The novella is like that he's telling
Yeah.
them to us in a
Yeah.
way. There's
Wow.
so there's a
Man,
Whew.
Aaron, fucking
Yeah.
deep,
That's what
deep
I'm here for,
cut.
man. That's what I'm here for. There's actually, I mean, this is sort of where we are wrapping up the book itself, but I highlighted a specific passage that I kind of wanted to repeat real quick because I really
Let's
thought that this was like
let's hit it.
just really amazing, and really because I think again, if you haven't read this book, please do because
It was good.
honestly,
I
the
enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
the words per minute are the value of the quality of words per minute is way more than the
Mhm.
words that actually are in the book. Like it's like
Yeah.
they don't waste a word. It's pretty crazy.
There's a
Um,
reason why a book like this they turned into a movie, and that movie is being talked about for Oscars
yeah,
for
Mhm.
sure.
100%. Also, and the land and like the environment itself is just as
Mhm.
much of a character. Like the way they describe
Yeah.
the land, it's not like this super like prosy, like crazy sort of descriptions, but it's like, wow, you get it. Especially if you've
Oh, yeah.
seen like the
He's
West, it's like,
battling the
yeah,
land most of his life,
Yeah.
basically.
yeah,
I mean, it describes it, like, from his perspective, right? Like, it doesn't go into a very flowery, like,
Yeah.
overly worded description of something. It's just like, "This is what I
mhm,
see,
But yeah,
and this is how I'm describing it to you."
the
yeah.
marching on of human civilization is a character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So the part that really stuck out to me that I like highlighted to be able to say in the to kind of close out the book for us is that he's talking about the Great Fire of the Valley of the Moyea Valley about
Mhm.
how that it had gutted the valley along its entire length like a campfire in a ditch. All his life, he would remember vividly the burned valley at sundown and the most dreamlike business he ever witnessed waking. The brilliant pastels of the last light overhead, some clouds high and white, catching daylight from beyond the valley, others ribbed gray and pink, the lowest of them rubbing the peaks of the Broussard and Queen Mountains, and beneath the wondrous sky, the black valley, utterly still, the train moving through it, making great noise, but unable to wake the dead.
Wow.
Which I mean, that's yeah.
I
I'm
don't
gonna let
even
that
know what to
sit.
say after that. Yeah.
I'm gonna let that sit. That was my
No,
favorite
that was good.
passage of maybe the whole book of like you go back and talk about how much loss that this man experienced and how much life he
Mm.
experienced
So
and
much
how
loss.
no matter and I think that one sentence, the train moving through it, making great noise but unable to wake the dead world, is the time is marching on no matter what, and
Yeah.
it's that time and the rumbling of progress. It
Yeah.
doesn't take everybody with it.
This this book does and I'm not trying to get deep here, but it does actually a pretty good job about like you kind
So
of
deep.
can't help but see a little bit of a reflection in yourself when it comes
Mhm.
to time moving on. How many
Yep.
times, how many times have we you hate to be that guy that's like, in my day we used to do
Yeah.
this
Mhm.
way, X, Y, and Z.
But
You know,
it's inevitable. It
it
happens.
is. It is
Well,
inevitable.
and I can't
So
remember if it's in the book or the movie or both, but he's talking about how before he goes back, before his wife and daughter die, and before he goes back to work that summer, he's like, I didn't know at the time, essentially, but this was like this is the happiest time of my life.
Right.
yeah,
And you
And
never
how
know
how
that.
how how true is that in all of our lives? I mean, if
Yes.
you're 20 years old and listening to this, I don't know what to tell you, but like you know, if you're in your
cue some
30s,
Green
40s, or
Day. This is
later,
a time of our life. Yeah.
Well, was
yeah.
it like, I wish I had known the good old days were the good old days when
Hmm.
they were happening.
Yeah, you never know the
Yeah.
good old days are the good old days until
Yeah.
they're past. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought
Yeah.
that was just an interesting, like, thing of, like, he's, like, reflecting on his life and being like, "Yeah, I had no idea," and so there's always
Well,
a little tidbit of,
that's
just
awesome.
take soft as smell of roses, you know?
That's what I mean, look, let's be honest. That's what we like about this entire thing that we're doing right now is reading these books, getting to talk about them. Again, we were already doing this before we ever started recording this. So the three of us, we like finding new books. We like reading stories. We like reading about people. It's just a great. It was a fun
Yeah.
thing that we were already doing. So
Yeah.
then when we were like imagine this one drunken night, we we were
Well,
like,
and
I bet there are
yeah,
I bet there are other people out there in general that
yeah.
want that do this same thing or want to talk about or hear about this same
Mhm.
thing.
Well, and
Yeah,
I think that's
it's
why
great.
this book, I don't know, resonated, but like I think this book was appropriate for our discussion so much because it's one big story, but it's a collection of stories
Oh, yeah.
from
Right.
different times, and that's what this entire conversation is about stories, and
Mhm.
so and the fact that he's outside most
And
of
that's
the
what
time.
life is, right? Like real life is like it's a
Is a
collection
collection
of
of
memories and
and
stories,
that's what
right? Like
memories are, just a collection of
it's
stories.
not
Yeah.
always like we don't have a plot to our lives,
Mhm,
right? Like we're not there's no end game other
mhm.
that we have particularly
And
called out. It's
Yeah.
just we're just living our lives and making memories and telling stories.
mhm.
It's all about the
And
memories, man.
Well, about the
It's
memories,
all
bro.
about the
well,
memories.
and by and large, these are stories of other people. They're not stories of him. They're stories that he
Yeah.
Right.
experienced, not necessarily stories that he was directly involved in, besides
Yeah.
a few choice ones. But yeah.
But when someone gives you their story, especially at this time of humans, when someone then gave you their stories when they were on their deathbed, th you were literally the sole proprietor of those stories.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
didn't write these down, they didn't have
Yeah.
blogs, they didn't God forbid they didn't have a podcast about this shit,
I don't know, maybe they did.
that we
Maybe they
know of
did. We don't
anyways.
know. Yeah.
Robert was the podcast for all
Yeah,
these people.
yeah, he's Train Dreams, yeah.
He was
No, it was great,
training his
Aaron.
dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can only speak for myself. I enjoyed it. It was I think the more I got into it, definitely the more I enjoyed it.
Good.
And honestly, is actually one of those stories that actually talking back, like remembering back about it, actually made me appreciate it even more.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad y'all thought so. I really enjoyed it as well, and I'm glad we got to talk
Yeah,
about it. I think it's one of those books I really encourage listeners like go read the book and talk about and get your friends to read the book. Like
yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a
Go
lot to
read
talk
the
about.
book.
Read the book.
Read the
Yeah,
book. Talk
and we
about the
obviously
book.
we try to do our best to let you guys, the listeners, know what book we're about to, we're reading over the next week or two so that you can talk about these books and see if we had the same thoughts, the same things came to mind, the same questions, the same conversations, things like that. So
Mhm.
that's always great. Do we
Totally.
want to do we want to go into what book is next? Because it's my pick.
It is your
That's.
pick, Matt.
Do you want
So
me to ask you the same question, Matt? Do you want to get into the next book?
No, I don't.
And thank you for listening to our final
yeah, thank
episode.
Our next book, it just cuts off right there. Um, yeah. So as much as first off, it's going to be hard to follow a book like this. That was great. It was great. We've had a lot of great books over the last, you know, you I don't however long, whenever you're reading the or whenever you're listening to this, just insert an amount of time. Um, But one of the styles that I feel like we've gotten away from that is always adventurous is stories on ships.
okay. Yeah,
Oh
all right.
yeah. Boats,
Where
boats, boats.
yeah, boats, 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 boats. Um, I'm bringing up a story by David Gran. It's called The Wager, a tale
Ooh.
of shipwreck, mutiny, and murder.
There's been a
Murder.
murder
There has been a
And
murder
murder.
in
on a ship,
Savannah. Is the ship in
along with
Savannah?
mutiny and a shipwreck.
Yes.
Those three things are not related. No.
Is there a black
Uh,
spot?
there could be.
How dare you?
Um,
Is Tim Curry involved at all?
yeah.
Please
So
God, let him
to
be
kind
involved.
of break it down again for whether you're a first time listener or maybe you just maybe we haven't even gone that deep into explaining these type of things.
In case you started at the end of the episode.
We typically try to find books that the three of us haven't read before.
Yeah.
So, so our next full episode, I think, is going to be The Wager by David Gran. You can find it on, I don't know, wherever you find your local books. I hope so, anyways.
The library, Amazon,
You can find
Barnes.
it on. You can find it on the library.
Borders.
Yeah, or you can actually just go to your local Chat GPT and ask it to summarize this book for you.
We are surprisingly uninformed for a podcast about reading books.
We have our own ways of finding books, and that I literally don't go outside of that.
eBay, Chegg. Do you remember Chegg? Chegg.
Oh, where you have to rent books for an exorbitant price.
Oh yeah, so
This
Borders
one book
books?
will only cost you $34 a month for 12 months.
Well,
hope you finish it in time.
Yeah,
it's another month of no one choosing the Animorphs, so I'm just a little upset about that. But that's okay.
We do have
Aaron, you do have that option.
Yeah.
Of
Animorphs.
Train Dreams / Animorphs.
I might do a choose your own adventure next time.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
David, we have a special episode coming up.
Absolutely.
That we're going to try to knock out. You want to briefly tell us about that?
Yeah. So it's a very current event, very current book. Because there's a movie. Yeah. It's the Chaucer Tales.
Yeah.
Canterbury Tales.
Canterbury Tales. Yep.
But no,
it's a movie called Train Dreams.
Very current, very relevant.
Yeah.
But no, so there's a book that we've all read that we all love, one of our favorite books, and there's a movie coming out. So we've already read it. So we figure, why don't we do a special episode? Why don't we talk about it since it's very current and in the news right now? So we're going to do an episode and talk about Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir.
Yep. That'll be fantastic. I think we all loved the book, but we have a lot to talk about.
I could talk about that book for a long time, so buckle up.
Hopefully the conversation is not too rocky.
Oh, Aaron. Some people aren't going to get that, but the ones that do.
I know. Way to give it away. Dang.
Spoilers.
Sorry, my face isn't made of stone.
If you haven't read it, Rocky Balboa is in the book.
What are you, the movie trailer that throws that out there in fucking the first 20 seconds?
Well, look at you guys confirming it the whole way. Jesus. Okay, first off, the movie trailer does. Listen, it's Ryan Gosling the whole time, okay?
Yeah. He's really
now
the entire time.
Nobody needs to read nor watch the movie.
It's Bruce Willis.
Nobody needs to read the movie or watch the book.
It's about a child psychologist who is dead the entire time.
If you haven't seen it, that's a pretty big part of it.
It makes more sense that his wife wouldn't talk to him for a whole year.
Than it would be that he was dead. Yeah. No, it's going to be a great episode. I think we'll have a lot to say. We have a lot of opinions.
You know that.
Yeah. It's going to be great. But, needless to say, so we are we're a new podcast. We are trying to grow this. Go out and find us. We're on all the socials, guys.
Well, if you heard that, you probably already found us. But
yeah,
and give us a rating.
On other things,
other platforms, and tell your friends.
Yeah,
like and subscribe. Or
I gotta say this because this is definitely not people that we know. The people that we know don't listen to us at all. They don't even listen to us when we're talking straight to their.
No, they get enough of this.
That's why we did this, actually, because it's the only people that talk to us.
Yeah, the only people that talk to us are this way because you guys can't talk back.
Yes. But if you have any questions, you make sure you send them to producer Jeff.
Yeah. Go out, find us on Instagram, follow us, comment, let us know again, we're learning, we're growing. Let us know,
what do you like? What do you not like?
I know we're probably not going to listen to it.
We're not going to change anything. We're not going to just tell us anyway.
But we'll take it into consideration.
Send us one of those newfangled emails.
Yeah. That was
Give it a go.
Them magic. Yeah. Use your
Write
magic
us a letter.
Yeah.
DM us
raven.
on Instagram.
Send a
Send a
raven.
On
raven.
Instagram.
My cell phone is not working at the moment. Send a raven.
We accept all
Okay.
forms of communication.
No. Again, we appreciate the one person that is re-listening to this
Thanks, Kat.
wherever you are. Yeah. And yeah, so we will before I say catch you guys on the next one, do you guys have anything else you want to say beforehand? Where can they find you guys?
I mean, you can find me right here on the podcast episode.
Aaron's holding me up an empty stein. He is
And
ready.
if you really want to, you can follow me on Instagram at David Brew Traveler, but I don't post anything, so it's up to you.
But follow us on Instagram for.
You sound.
We're gonna start doing more on
super
there.
excited.
So
I'm
I know
super excited.
we are gonna. Dude, I hired a social guy. He's gonna do everything.
He's terrible.
he's
I
gonna
know
do
that
some
guy.
things.
He's doing it for very little, so I can't complain.
Yeah, he's
He was
gonna
the
do
cheapest
something.
in the market.
Quite
They're talking
literally.
about me. They're talking about this guy.
No.
We're looking forward to the next conversation, guys. But I would like to say, but as we close out, cheers to you guys and cheers to our listeners, and of course, cheers to Jasper.
To Jasper.
All right. Later, guys.
Later.
Toodaloo.